Problem 5. Okay, let me see. Okay, so next we have 24x squared plus 28. X. Okay, let me click on this problem real quick. It like went away. Okay, so this says to find the greatest common factor from the polynomial. So the greatest common factor is going to be the largest number that equally divides both of them and what variable they have in common. So if you look at 24 and 28, we know that 2 divides 24 and 28. And we know that 4 divides 24, but it does not divide 28. So if you're not too sure, what you can do is actually 2 times 12, 2 times 6, 2 times 3, and then 28. We get 2 and 14, 2 and 7. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 is 24. 2 times 2 times 7 is 28. So what they have in common is 2 times 2. So that would mean 2 times 2 is 4. 4 is going to be the greatest common factor between these two. And then both of them have an x. The one that they have in common is just 1x. And then if you do 24 divided by 4, you get 6. If you do x squared divided by x, you get x. Oh, why did I say 4 didn't go into it? 4 times 7 is 28. I guess I thought 21. Yeah, totally messed up there. Because obviously, here's 2 2's and there's 2 2's. And then here if you do 28 divided by 4, you get 7. Signs are the same, so it's positive. X divided by x cancels, so it goes away. And that would be your answer. Your GCF is 4x, but that's actually pulling out the GCF and factoring it. Okay, problem number 6. I think it's loading. Okay, here we go. Factor out the greatest common factor in the expression. This is something that I mentioned in class today. What we're doing is pulling out the greatest common factor. You just might hear me say something slightly different whenever we do this. I'll say, do these match? We only need to bring down one of them. But if you look, this and this, they are the same thing. They do match. These two terms have that in common. So if we pull out the greatest common factor and we do division, if you look at this term, x squared times x minus 4 divided by x minus 4, these would cancel and you're left with x squared. And if you look at this term, 18 times x minus 4 divided by x minus 4, these would cancel and the only thing you're left with is positive 18. And then you are done. Okay, so problem number 7 says factor by grouping. So we have x cubed, then a negative 5x squared, then a positive 2x, and then a negative 10. Factor by grouping just means that we are going to split these two terms down the middle. Whoop. We're going to find the greatest common factor for the left-hand side. They have an x squared in common. We're going to do division. X cubed divided by x squared is keep and subtract. Negative 5 divided by 1 is a negative 5. X squared divided by x squared is a 1, so it goes away. Bring down our plus sign. 2x divided by x squared. Oh, what did I do? 2x, and I did this divided by this. Do you notice how I started going really fast? Someone walked by the classroom and I got confused. You don't do this divided by this. I just broke math. Now we're looking at the right-hand side. 2x and 10 have a 2 in common. That's the only thing they have in common. Now we divide. 2x divided by 2 leaves an x. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Signs are different, so it's negative. Like we did here, pull the GCF again. What I do is these match, write it once. What's left goes into their own parentheses. I literally stared at that problem just now and I was like, that's not right. And I noticed what I did wrong. Okay, I'm gonna do one more problem, stop this, load it, and then do another one. Because this is only problem 8. Okay, so factor the trinomial or state that the trinomial is prime. We didn't cover a trinomial being prime, but technically if you cannot do the AC method and get it down into factors, then it would be considered prime. So let's see, factor the trinomial. We have 5x squared minus 14x minus 3. AC method, identify a is 5, b is a negative 14, c is negative 3, a times c, 5 times negative 3, 5 times 3, 15, signs different, so it's negative. Factor tree, 1 and 15, 2 does not work, 3 and 5, that's it. Look to see if anything can combine to give me my b. My b is a negative 14. One of these needs to be negative. It would be the greater one because this would equal a negative 14, which equals my b, which is what I want. So these are my two terms, okay? That's what I'm going to expand my b with. So my 5x squared remains the same. I've got a positive 1. Don't forget your variable. So I just write the x. And I have a negative 15. Don't forget your variable. Negative 3 comes down. Factor by grouping. Split. Pull a GCF. What they have in common is an x. 5x plus 1. Bring down the sign. What they have in common is a 3. 5x plus 1. 15 divided by 3 is 5. Signs are the same, so it's positive. X divided by no x is x. 3 divided by 3 is 1. Signs are the same, so it's positive. Both of these match. I write it once. And then what is left over goes into its own set of parentheses. Done with that problem. Okay. I'm going to see... Yeah, if you get to here and these do not match, you can actually flip these two terms. So you would write the negative 15 first, and then you try to do the GCF. If these still don't match, then it would be considered prime. Or if right here in your factor tree, nothing combines together to make your b, then it would also be considered prime. Okay, so let me do this one. This is actually problem 10 in the homework. It's 4x squared negative 49. This would be a difference of squares problem. If I do my little template, doesn't matter which one's positive or negative. Square root of 4 is 2. Square root of x squared is x. That goes in both of the first spots. Square root of 49 is 7, and I'm done. Okay, that's half of the homework for that first chunk. Let me see if this actually recorded and if it can be watched. Thanks, y'all. Bye.